Welcome back. In today's video, guys, I've been asked the question a few times on Instagram about those low C's, low B's, and I want to add actually those low B flat with both triggers on the 7th position. So we're going to be talking about these. I'm going to try to give you a few exercises so that you can practice those notes. I know those are really difficult notes. I've always had huge problems with those notes, actually even with the D's and the D flat. So I'm going to give you a few exercises for that, and we're going to practice them together a little bit today, and then you're going to practice them at home also. Remember that if you want the PDFs of all the exercises that I show you on this channel, it's very easy. You can join our membership program on Patreon for $15 a month. You get all my exercises, all the PDFs, you also get all the arrangements actually, but the most interesting thing is that you get one-on-one feedback from me, unlimited. So you practice your exercise, you record it, you send it to me, I send you some feedback, you correct it, you make progress. People that have participated in this membership program have really made some huge progress. It forces you to practice those exercises. It forces you to play them as best as possible, not just to read them through because you're sending them to me and you don't want to look like an idiot, right? So you're practicing them, you're playing them as best you can, you're sending them to me, and I'm giving you some personalized feedback. This is like having some one-on-one lessons. I used to pay $100 per lesson, and here you get unlimited lessons for $15. I'm doing this because I think that playing music should be affordable for everybody. It should not be so expensive to study music. So that's it for this little advertisement, I guess. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm selling you too many stuff, but I think it's a really cool program and I really encourage you to be part of it. So for the exercise, there's two parts of the exercise. The first part, I want to do some flexibility exercises with both triggers. So yes, it will sound like crap. I can guarantee it. It will not sound good. It will not sound as good as when you do the same exercises with no triggers, obviously. So the problem with the triggers, the problem with the F attachments and the other one, for me it's a G flat attachment. Yeah, it is. The problem is that you are adding a lot of resistance. So it's a little bit like practicing with a practice mute because it adds so much resistance. But more than that, it adds more than just the resistance, it also adds extra tubing. So you really need to focus on putting more air and just playing through those notes. So I'm going to show you two exercises. The first exercise, you press on both triggers, you're going to get a D. That one, not the low one, that one. And you're going to play flexibility from that D down to the low D, right? So we're really practicing making those flexibility exercises with so much resistance. And then we go down to the D flat. So remember, with those two triggers pressed, the D flat will be kind of a low second position. So if your second position is kind of here, you'll go down a little bit more. I mean, just listen with your ears. So let's start on the D and gliss it to the D flat so that we know where it is. It doesn't matter exactly the exercise that you want to do. I'm going to write some of my favorite flexibility exercise, but just do your favorite flexibility exercise just with those two triggers. Let's move on to the C. So the C, as you know, it's kind of a lower third position or a little bit of a sharp fourth position. And what you're going to notice is, like I said with the pedal notes, is you're not going to just open your mouth. You really need to put that lower jaw a little bit forward, keep the tension, keep the strength. Here it needs to keep flexible, but here it really needs to keep the strength and maintain your embouchure so that you can center the note. With those notes, the hardest is to actually center the note, and you're going to need a lot of air. And there's a false belief that you're going to need some slow air. No, you are still going to need some fast air. It's going to be a lot of volume and some speed, especially if you want to play in the mezzo forte dynamic. So now we go back, we continue to the B natural. Right? And then finally, we're going to do our flexibilities on the B flat, so on the 7th position, pressing those two vowels. So when you practice your flexibilities, add those positions with the double valve. Now I'm going to give you a second exercise, and this one is going to be played in the mezzo forte to forte actually. What you're going to do is very simple actually. You're going to just play those notes first only with the first trigger, so with the F attachment, and then you're going to go slowly with the two triggers, and you're going to feel that there's more resistance and that you're going to have to put more air to maintain the same sound. And what you want to do is really imitate the sound. You will not be able to imitate the sensation because of that resistance, but imitate the sound. Okay, so going faster and faster from that first trigger to having those two triggers. That makes sense? Can you really hear that I have the same sound with in lower 4th position with the first F attachment, then with the two attachments? So let's go to the D flat now, and let's do exactly the same. Okay? I'm going to make a complete separate video on how to play those low notes forte, but for now, this is the exercise that we're doing. We're going to go to the C, so now the C gets a little bit more difficult, but we can still do it. So I know that it might sound a little bit easy when I do it, and don't get discouraged because it was an absolute nightmare for me. It took me months, hours of practicing, of really being completely obsessed with the low C and the low B, and even today sometimes they don't sound too good. I don't know why. There's something with those notes. There's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with me, I hope. We just need to continue practicing them. So if you're not able to do it, practice it with a good technique, don't be discouraged, and just persevere. So if the C doesn't work, go back up to the D flat. If the D flat doesn't work, go back down, go back up to the D, and then go back down again, step by step. Okay, so what is a C? It's important also to really hear the note. I'm always giving you the note so that you can hear it and then go and play it down there. So I have a little bit of a problem with this instrument actually, playing an in-tune C on the 7th position with the trigger, but it's a little bit sharp, right? But for the exercise it'll do. Okay, So now for the B, how are you going to do it for the B? Well, there's two ways. First way, we're going to try to bend the note to get kind of a B down there with the first trigger. But this is not the best solution because you're not in the exact same position when you bend the note than when you play a note. So what I propose is that we actually go back up. We go back up to the D and we're going to gliss through them. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to empty the water in my plant. Try to keep absolutely everything the same. You're just moving the slide. This stays the same air, same aperture, same everything that you want. Keep it the same, just move the slide. And listen. When you listen, there's something that's going to change, but unconsciously, and you're going to be able to hit that B. Okay? And now to the last one, the B flat. This is the hardest note to play on the bass trombone, in my opinion, and the opinion of 99.999% of all other bass trombone players. So don't be discouraged again. So we're going to do this glissando, and we're going to get down there. So I have a short arm actually. I don't know if you can see, but my 7th position, I never play in 7th position. I rarely play in 6th position, to be honest. Maybe I'm just lazy, and also I have those good Hagman valves. I don't really need to. I can just play up there. But for the exercise, let's do it anyway. This is my pedal B flat. Okay, so you're gonna ask, in what context do you actually play that B flat down there? Why would you ever do it? Just play a pedal B flat up there. Well, it has happened to me, especially when you play lower than mezzo piano, so piano and pianissimo and sometimes pianissimo. If you want to have that note that doesn't sound too flappy like a pedal sometimes does, even if you have a very good, very centered pedal where you hear all the harmonics. It does have this pedal note quality. But if you play it down there and your colleagues are playing some 5ths and 9ths, so the 3rd above the octave, it might blend better. So practice that note. The more you practice that pedal B flat down there with both triggers in the 7th position, the easier it will be for you to play the low C's and the low B's. So that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please put a thumbs up. If you've not, or if you have comments and feedback, please put them in the comments below. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel and press this little bell button so that you can be notified every time I post content. I try to post content every 2 days so that one day you have time to watch the video, play along with the video, learn the exercise, then you have another day so that you can practice this exercise. If you're part of our membership program, then you can send me your feedback, you can send me your recordings of that exercise. I send you my feedback, you can practice it more, and on the next day we do some more exercises. You know, we keep having some more exercises so that it always stays interesting. Of course, there are some things that's going to be a little bit repetitive, but you know, that's what you do when you practice. Remember that repetition is the mother of skill. So that's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the very next one. Take care. Bye.